Hello, hello. That sounded a little low. What the hell? Fix that. Hello. 1 2 3 1 2 3. It's so weird when this happens. Like, I could just turn off the program and like no setting will change, and randomly from stream to stream the voice output will just randomly change in volume despite me not changing anything about the voice input. And I don't know why that happens. So like, one of the reasons why I have a tendency to run this sort of intro, I get to measure out the balance in the audio, both from the perspective of like the game audio, like usually running my voice audio against the music audio is a good it's a decent barometer for me to how do I say this, to practice, I guess. And yeah, it's decent. Like, there was this person I think a couple years back, and I banned them from my channel and I kicked them from my personal Discord server because I was like, this person, how do I say this? When we were talking at the time, this is when like I was watching Celeste speedruns, and I very much enjoyed the game, and it was a pretty cool game and whatnot. Like, it's a great platformer, and it's one of the most beautiful games I've ever played. I think that's actually one of the first few games that I started to really like, how do I say this, enjoy pain and punishment in gameplay, as well as just like other stuff, other avenues of life where like pain and punishment will warrant and facilitate a learning process to help me become better as a person. So I think that is probably one of the first few games where I started to really tackle and enjoy games that warranted or facilitated difficult scenarios, difficult situations, difficult performances from the player. And I honestly, there were like maybe a handful of times where I got frustrated at Celeste, but when I was recommended the game and when I like dove super deep into that game, I just rode with it. I just rode with all the failures, and man, that's one of the games I also really fucking love. I just don't know when I'll revisit it, and I probably want to revisit on stream. But yeah, whatever. We'll see. I'll think about it when the time comes. Just because I already have like a decent couple of main games to run. I'm already like, hold on, I got a cough. There's already like a couple of main games that I run, which is that's Stranding. I'm already like super into it, and it didn't take long for me to reignite the love that I have for it. What else? I have Hades, which I fucking love running. It's so good. It's just an absolute megaton of fun. Both of these games, honestly. And there are just a multitude of games that I can just lean on. on a regular basis. I don't know if, like, Celeste is fun, but I don't know what I get out of coming back to it, and I have this very selective rope that I teeter on, that I cross and try to balance on, where Hades gives me the fundamental compact amount of fun where anything can happen from run to run. That is the form of pain and punishment, frustration, as well as euphoria when things can go really poorly or it can go really well. So, and that's all in like 30 minutes average. If things go really poorly, then how do I say this? If things go really poorly and I can still win, then it'll take longer, just because like there's a lot of defensive counters that I must enact, defensive strategies I must enact, stuff like that. There's actually, at the time that I'm streaming this, I don't know when the video is gonna premiere, but there's a Hades offline gameplay that I recorded, and I just wanted to. The reason why it's offline that I didn't stream it is because I didn't want to talk. I just wanted to play the game, and I was like, but I still wanted to capture what I was doing inside game. So I just compromised with myself. I was like, just hit the record button and play the game. I don't have to talk, I don't have to do anything, it's fine. And I think that may have been a successful run. I actually don't remember. That's premiering at some point next week or later this week. I'm not entirely sure actually, but a lot of my highlights are being exported to YouTube. So if let's say a lot of my VODs export and premiere, rather if a lot of my VODs from Twitch premiere on YouTube at 6:30 a.m. local Eastern time, then my highlights premiere at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Just I don't know. It's nice to have that, like, in my mind, organized scheduling. It makes me feel better about the gap between my video essays, because as much as I love being able to sit down and like dedicate 4 or 5 hours at a time crafting and revising my scripts for the video essays, I just don't think that it's feasible for me to do that on a weekly basis, even though I schedule myself for me to do so. There are times when I legitimately have to just run through errands and shit, or life calls, and I have to answer for the lack of better words. So I feel bad that I am so inconsistent with the video essays, and it's kind of frustrating, but it doesn't always feel good to be crafting the products of my love. It doesn't always feel good, because like there are times when I need to break. Jesus Christ. There are times when I need to take a break and just have fun. And don't get me wrong, the video essays that I craft are fun. They allow me to sort of cognitively organize what goes on behind the scenes, and allow me to string along all these thoughts that are firing at a pace of what feels like a million thoughts per minute. And I don't like saying that, because it makes me feel like as though that, like, oh my god, like, big brainer, but whatever. I love writing my essays. It's great. It makes me feel as though I'm still able to practice everything that I learned from, like, from college, and it allows me the opportunity to keep on learning and practice a lot of my linguistic tendencies and even improve upon my linguistic tendencies, which is amazing. And I'm so glad I caught this caveat of writing and expression, because how do I say this? When I was younger, for a period of time, a long duration of time, I wouldn't say long. I'd say 4 years maybe? 3 or 4 years, I was super deep into poetry and all that bullshit. And after I graduated high school and went on to college, I stopped. I stopped entirely. And as much love as I had for poetry, it was just a way for me to vent all of the shenanigans that were on my mind and whatever else that I couldn't really properly express without relying on the how do I say this? Without relying on the constraints as well as format of what poetry I wrote at the time. And things became fundamentally better as I turned 18 and onwards, especially with communicating with many various walks of life of what many people I met in college, as well as professors. And I took a handful of communication classes, which helped tremendously. I took public speaking, one public speaking class, and I took a interpersonal communications class, which I believe was a 101 class. It also helped me that I took also additionally handful of psychology classes, handful of sociology classes, and I owe a lot of my growth and a lot of my socially developed prowess to these classes that I took, as well as the many people I met and encountered and got to socialize with during that time frame. So I think that this is a conversation that, and I know I'm rambling. I kind of just want to get this out of my head before I start, because it's just gonna be I don't know what cutscene I'm gonna slam my head into with this game. So I kind of just want to get this out, and I'll elaborate even more if something comes to my head after it all starts. But I think that as time goes on, there's more and more and more and more of a paradigm shift, where previously I think, and I could be wrong, but before the 2010s, and arguably maybe even 2000s, definitely before the 2000s, education was heavily driven for, and it's still heavily peddled to this day, don't get me wrong, but I think a lot of the younger generations are finding themselves in difficult scenarios where they are questioning the validity as well as the value of their potential degrees that they're fighting for and putting time in for. But what I will argue is, just how often will people find themselves within the opportunity of being able to encounter so many different walks of life and so many different people and so many different sources of information in such a way that is readily available within an institution. Granted, things are really, 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 really different nowadays compared to pre-2019. Hey Decisive, how's it going? I'm just kind of rambling and expressing some things on my mind regarding college and classes that I've taken, and I'm kind of just driving home the point that despite the generational, oh no, we're more than just pizza for $5.99. All right, well, Now that I hit an ad. Wait, that's how you pronounce your name? Freddie Lucius. Yeah. Fred E. Lucius. Let me just change the screen because there was an ad playing on that stupid video. Yeah. So, you know, let me just adjust the volume of my voice input again. It seems like yeah, okay. Alright, so it seems like relative to whatever music I play, the music is just really loud. And the in-game audio is fine, I think. Okay, alright, so we're fine. We are fine. Let me just post up in another server. Because luckily, this guy is nice enough to allow smaller content creators and other walks of sizable audiences to promote in his server. So he's cool. I gotta check up with him at some point. I talk here and there, but I feel as though I don't really get to have enough conversations with that streamer. Back with some more Death Stranding. Okay. Alright. How are you doing today, Decisive? What are you up to? Alright, so I hope that this will be fine. Let me just double check some behind the scenes stuff. Alright, yeah, I believe things should be perfect, relatively speaking. And I'm going to skip all these shower cutscenes because I don't want to get destroyed in like YouTube. Alright. Alright, we're fine. We are good to go. Truth be told, I'm actually pretty hungry.
Thank you. Bridget may no longer be with us, but her legacy has a chance to live on. Sam, listen to me. America, Reconstructionism. Her dream isn't dead.
I don't want to hear it.
This is the face of our new hope. Our new America.
Homily.
My mother may be gone, but I'm here. And you, Sam? You're here too.
Been 10 years since you saw each other, right? And in all that time, she hasn't aged a day.
He knows why. My body's still on the beach. I don't get to grow older. But you do, Sam. You look good.
So you're serious then about reconnecting everyone and everything?
Someone has to succeed Bridget, Sam. More importantly, someone has to carry on her legacy and see our country rebuilt. Samantha America Strand, our new president. A new beginning for our people, for our nation. Under Emily's leadership, we'll re-establish the UCA, the United Cities of America. This is how we'll rebuild our country. But we'll need your help to do it, Sam.
No, I'm through with this. I said my goodbyes to all of you when I said them to Bridget.
We never forgot about you, Sam. You ran away. You cut us off.
Emily put together an expedition. The best of Bridges won. And went west.
I led them past craters in BT territory. I kept them safe while they searched for survivors.
Never once missed a BT. Saw him coming a mile away.
We convinced community after community to join the UCA, and we left behind our own people to help them. It took us 3 years, but we managed to make it all the way to Edgenot City.
All the way to the Pacific. Jesus.
Yeah, but then everything went to hell. The team was wiped out, and Emily was taken.
Taken.
I'm not being kept in a cell or anything like that. I'm allowed to use their facilities and to speak with you whenever I want. I just can't leave the city.
It's all to safeguard the continued independence of Edgenot City. Well, that's what our keepers are saying, at least. They want the UCA to leave him be. Emily's their insurance policy in case we don't.
Who are these assholes again?
Homo Demons. Militant separatist group. They run Edgenot City.
I've heard of them. Bunch of terrorists who go around towns killing people and leaving craters.
Right. Nothing's off limits for them. Not even engineering void outs.
You think the suicide that took out Central Knot was one of theirs?
Could be. There are extremists like the demons everywhere, plotting in the shadows. They're decentralized by nature. No one organization to rule them all. Just a common ideology.
I know not everyone shares our vision for the future. If we Americans don't come together again, humanity won't survive. I carried my mother's message to people all across the country. But not everyone was willing to accept it.
More than a few would rather stay isolated. Keep to themselves. Go it alone. Like you, Sam. They think that America can only be rebuilt by force, by men who tell them what to do, who take away their freedom and put them in shackles.
What'd you put on me, huh? You know better than the demons. Just another kind of cult.
They're not shackles, Sam. They're a symbol of our bonds. That's what we need right now. Not to stand apart, but to come together, to form chiral knots and reconnect.
Sam, we want you to go west and finish what Emily started. The people she left behind have been hard at work, setting up chiral network terminals. But these terminals are still isolated. We need you to bring them online. And for that, you'll need a Cupid. This contains all the necessary security and operations protocols to integrate a terminal into the chiral web. Take the Cupid west, Sam, and reconnect the people of our great nation. And when you get to Edgenot City, find Emily and bring her home.
After that, I'll take over the presidency and carry on Mother's work to save the country.
This was Bridget's dying wish. This is how we'll move forward.
Please, Sam. We need you.
I'm Sam Porter Bridges now. I'm not a Strand. Hell, I'm not even part of this outfit. You all saw to that. I'm not getting involved with you, or anyone else, ever again.
Wait!
See? It's like I'm not even here. Same as it ever was.
Sam! Sam! Hold on. Stop! Listen to me. America needs you. Both of you.
Yeah, covering the world in cable didn't bring an end to war and suffering. Don't act surprised when it all comes apart if you try to do it again. Round and round it goes. Connect, reconnect, it's not that simple.
All right, Sam. Just take it easy. I get it. You don't have to commit to anything now. Why not get some rest?
Good idea. We all need our sleep. Leave it too long and you're liable to reconnect with the other side. The necessary maintenance has been completed. Various adjustments and fine-tuning for your benefit. You can use it again. For once, it would seem that Dooms and BBs are a good combination. Or perhaps the two of you have something of an affinity for one another.
Sam. Listen. You are Sam Strand.
No, I'm not. Not anymore. My name is Sam Porter Bridges.
It's a funny word, Strand. A strand is part of rope or bond, while stranding means being washed up on the shore. And being stranded is when you can't go home. I'm stranded now, Sam. Here on the shore of the Pacific. Thousands of miles away, but our bond still holds. You're free, but we're still connected. Don't tell me we're not. Come back, Sam.
Sam, this is Di Hardman. You were out like a log. Must have been beat. Private rooms come with all the basic amenities. Shower, toilet, etc. Drop in when you need to rest. Inspect your gear, review info, or whatever else. If you have any questions, feel free to ask our staff. But before you do, why not check things out for yourself? See how Bridges operates these days.
True. Let's get going and get ready to rumble. Yeah, boy. Check the equipment pack first.
This case will remove any chiral matter still clinging to your suit. Speaking of suits, blue is for delivery personnel, red for medical, orange for corpse disposal, and black for security.
Alright, let's customize the color. Oh wait, we can't. Nice. Very nice. Alright, whatever. Those, I don't know, those frames are kind of questionable. Yeah, I gotta check on BB. Hey, there we go. I saw a game on Steam called Walking Simulator that was a parody of the game. I'm not surprised.
This is Deadman. I calibrated your BB based on physiological data we collected from you earlier. It's still just a best guess, though. After you take it out for a spin, we can check if you're in sync and tweak the BB sensitivity as needed.
What were the reviews on that game?
You okay?
So what's the deal with the baby? Basically, if you don't want spoilers, and we can walk through the story together. Like for me, it's obviously walking through it again, no pun intended. But yeah, we can walk through the story together. But so far, the baby right here is dubbed as BB, and the BB is it's initialized as BB because it stands for Bridge Baby, and the Bridge Baby acts as a bridge towards the other side, towards the beach. And the beach is where people with Doom's Factor, such as Sam in particular, Sam Porter Bridges right here, he has Doom's Factor, and he has a level 2 Doom's Factor. What this means is that he has the Extinction Factor, which is connected to the beach, and through all these relations, with the additional help of the Bridge Baby, he is able to detect BTs, which are beached things, and those entities are the dark figures that we see in the game that signal towards much stronger entities, much stronger enemies when you engage them in battle. So this is exactly what's going on with the baby so far. And I don't think I've revealed any spoilers because we've encountered so much already. Just one more time.
Tired, huh?
Alright, cool. So let's get ready. Let's see what else I can mess around with. Because if I recall correctly... Oh, there's a weapon rank. I forgot. If I recall correctly...
Believe we've met? I oversee delivery operations as well as maintenance and repairs. Nice to have you on board. I'm Mama, in case I didn't mention it before. Those there are strands. Not just used for packing, by the way, but for identification, too. Take a closer look and you'll see. See the red there? That's your blood.
It's sick. I forgot my train of thought actually. Oh, yeah. So, like, here's the thing. These different options will have purpose to them. Shower, toilet, rather standing or sitting. These three different options weaponizes Sam's bodily fluids, like such as his urine, his stool, as well as the dirt that comes off his body when he showers. And it provides grenades, explosives, and it's so good in combat. So it does justice to the player to shower as much as he can, or shower Sam as much as they can, to weaponize his shower products, essentially. Shower is the best one, in my honest opinion.
Sam Hartman here, researcher devoted to uncovering the secrets of the beaches in the Death Stranding, as well as those of dooms and repatriates. The shower in your room was designed with chiral decontamination in mind. Chiral matter can adversely affect hormone secretion and nervous function. There's a correlation between exposure and the development of phobias, as well as in extreme cases, violent and suicidal impulses. Chiralium contamination has even been postulated as a trigger for the onset of dooms. I should add that these showers have another function: the collection of blood, hair, fluids, and other natural waste products. They provide a non-invasive means to monitor your exposure to chiralium and your overall health. And I freely admit a chance to study the unique properties of your physiology, you being a repatriate and all.
Twitch allows games with slight nudity, yes, but they do have a list of games that bans certain games that facilitate such nudity. It depends on the context. This game in particular, it's okay because the nudity, the slight nudity that is shown, it's not in such a way that is invasive towards the topic of nudity and whatever nudity entails, depending on the context. The context here is that he is getting slightly nude. Well, he is getting nude, but we're shown slight nudity for the purpose of being shown that he's showering, and that shower is given a purpose of not just cleaning off the chiral matter that is on his body, but also to weaponize the waste products that come off his body through the shower. So the context is there, and also this game has been like widely streamed from the date of release back in November 2019. This game is really popular. It's hard to see how Twitch, even in 2021, would how do I say this? Disallow the game to be streamed on a universal basis. It's very difficult to see how that happened. So I'm doing it again because I need to get more weapons out of this. And I'm skipping the cutscenes because it's just unnecessary. If people want to see Sam like slightly nude, or nude from like a non-explicit perspective, they can just search it up, like, if they don't have the game. I'd rather just prioritize. Wait, no, I'm an idiot. So I don't think I have gotten to the point of the game where I am allowed to extract weaponry from the waste products. I think I did all for nothing. I'm so dumb. Let me just see the sync. I haven't seen the sync in a while. In-game, rather. That's so sick. True. No, wait. I meant to take it back. Ooh, action shot. That's nice. One like. Are you kidding me? That face is the best thing, yeah. Alright, cool. Let's proceed. Let us proceed. I've been stalling long enough.
With that terminal there, you can browse the bridge's database, which has info on a range of subjects. You don't have clearance for everything, but there's still plenty you might find informative.
Okay, data. I'm just gonna save just in case. I don't trust myself. Alright, so now I get to leave. Alright, yeah. What the f-
Well, have you had a chance to think it over? Chock full of chiralium, but safe for you Dooms guys to wear. That's all you'll need to go forth and reconnect the world. To make us whole again.
I'm a porter. I don't care about connecting anything. Or making knots. But I'll do what I have to help Amelie out.
Listen up, Sam. The terminals Amelie's people built in the towns and cities they passed through on their journey west are called knots. The infrastructure's there, but the Cairo network is offline. Right now, it's only capable of transmitting voice communications. Sometimes wired, sometimes wireless, and a small amount of data. So, unless the necessary data stored on site, our chirograms won't show up. Amelie and the other Bridges members you've seen around the place are grams generated with local data. In case you didn't know. Anyway, all you've got to do is find the knot, connect your Cupid, and bring Cairo communications online. Once you connect it to the terminal, you'll be able to initiate zero-time massive data transmission with the UCA network. And just like that, you'll reconnect us not only to each other, but to our past. All the lost and fragmented junk data will be compiled and restored. Like bringing a dinosaur back to life from a fossil. 4.6 billion years of history on Earth. All the wisdom and knowledge we lost since the Death Stranding will be ours again. And that, my friend, is how we'll beat this thing. Once you establish Cairo communications, generating grams won't be an issue. You'll also be able to use Cairo printers. Won't be long before we're able to send all kinds of things through the wire.
Except anything original. Or that's got a soul. Nothing real. Just copies.
True. Which is why we'll still need porters like you. Before and after we're made whole, we'll need men in the middle.
No rest for the wicked, huh?
Yeah, well, idle hands and all that. We'll give you the details at the dispatch terminal. Make sure you check it upstairs. Drop's waiting up there, too.
These shoes look like they've done some serious miles. Shall I dispose of them?
Wait. Hold on. There's something I want you to look into. My blood seemed to set those things off. Happened more than once.
Set them off? How do you mean?
I don't know. You took my blood, didn't you? You tell me.
All right. I'll see what I can do.
See the sunset.
I'm sorry, Lisa. Don't worry. I'll take care of him. I promise you. Baby. Baby. Baby, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Steady.
Oh wow, my mic was on, mic off. Sorry. It's pretty bad, but when you don't stop to think about it and just mindlessly play a game, it's not a bad game. It's just a game. That's fair. That is completely fair. Hunt Down the Freeman, when I looked into it and like I saw the gameplay and all the criticisms that came out, I was like, man, that is that's rough.
Sam, this is
That's all I could think of.
Your current objective is to extend the Cairo network from here to Port Knot City. I don't think you can make a beeline straight for it. Signal won't carry that far. To cover the distance, we need to utilize knots. Think of it like tying ropes together to make a longer rope. The first of these knots is a Bridges Way station. Go ahead and take a look at the order. Deliver whatever they need and connect the Cupid.
You feel bad for the devs? Yeah, dude, like, it sucks. It really does suck, like, what...
Your private locker can be used to store cargo and the like.
Hold on, I gotta cough. I gotta mute. Okay. Yeah, that situation sucks. Isn't that the game where, like, a bunch of YouTubers and other people were, like, voice acting for it? I mean, they did something most people can't do, finish a game. Yeah. If we look at all of the beta projects and, like, all of the... God, I forgot the proper term, but, like, projects on Steam where... And even on, early access, yeah, early access. If we look at all the early access games and projects, like, I swear, majority of them don't even update after a certain point, and they just run with the cache. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like, say something. Update us. Like, majority of the time, I actually don't look into early access games because I don't have the time, honestly. And I don't really have I don't have a PC, like a Windows PC, which it'll change in the future. Right now, it's just, with the Steam Deck coming out, I think I am okay not getting a PC for a while because my desktop is still running pretty strong. Well, not really, but it's still okay, like 6 out of 10 okay. Despite it being 6 years old. So, like, what is an additional... God, how do I say this? What is what is $500-ish for a Steam Deck, if I'm getting the price right, compared to, like, the $2,500 or 2,500 or 3,000 US dollars that I would save up to invest into a PC build. You know, like, and if I decide to upgrade my setup by getting, hold on, I got a cough. Sorry, I needed to cough and use my inhaler. So, what is an additional? Let's say I invest $1,000 into, how do I say this? Content creation as well as streaming, like a laptop, something that's portable, designated for that purpose. What is an addition? What is $1,500 US dollars compared to almost double that amount for the PC and portable systems at that? I think I am okay with going the laptop route of content creation and how do I say this? Productivity and a Steam Deck. Steam Deck, which will allow full access to a lot of the games that are on PC, you know? With so many people making videos about it, the devs are probably ashamed to even talk to people because they know about the whole thing. Yeah, regarding Hunt the Freeman, yeah. Hunt down the Freeman, rather. Okay. So private lockers. Items you don't immediately need can be stored in a private locker indefinitely. However, if you wish to reclaim them, you will have to do so from the specific terminal you used to store them. You can check what items you have, which you can check what items you have stored in which locations via the cufflinks. Okay, cool. I have nothing. So I got ahead of myself. I thought we were going to be able to craft weapons out of Sam's bodily fluids, but I guess not. At least not yet.
Sam, order summaries may contain information critical to your success. Make sure to review them before getting underway.
If you buy the Steam Deck, I just want to warn you that you will need to buy an SSD. That's fine, dude. Like it's completely fine. The fact of the matter is, in the event that I go Steam Deck, a designated, basically a work laptop. Hold on, I got a cough. Let's say I go that route, a laptop for almost work purposes, almost, and a Steam Deck. It's fine. Only isn't there a greater option though? Decisive. There's a 256 gigabyte option, isn't there? 64 gigabytes is the lowest one, if I recall correctly. And knowing me, I'm not gonna like buy game. I'm not gonna invest into games that have like a lot of storage. Knowing me, I'm not. Other than like, let's say for example, Death Stranding, because I know I'm gonna play on PC, quote unquote PC. I'm gonna go check. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm surprised to hear that because I was like, wait, that's such a small size. I thought there were 3 options.
Sam, we've supplied you with some rope and a ladder for this run. They should help with the steeper inclines, and the ladder will also make a halfway decent bridge if you need to cross a river. Right now, I figure you're thinking about how you want to handle this order.
Nice. Okay, cool, 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 cool. Head out? Yeah. Let me just cough.
Order assigned.
Okay, so $400 for 64, $530 for 256, and $650 for 512. I'm gonna go with 512. I just don't want to worry. I don't want to have to worry about it, to be honest. Like, I'm going all out for it because that's gonna be my PC,
Have a pleasant journey.
my portable PC. Like, I can't not take up the offer.
Sam, triple checked your loadout, I take it? Okay, safe trip.
Hold it.
Are you interested at all in the Steam Deck Decisive or nah?
Have a pleasant journey. Sam, you see that sign someone left over there? You can leave some of your own if you'd like. Messages, warnings, words of encouragement, whatever comes to mind.
You don't understand why people are saying the Steam Deck is gonna kill the Switch when it's not even a direct competitor? Yeah, it's so dumb. People don't understand. Okay, I'm gonna make a very good comparison. Did PlayStation kill the market for Xbox? No. Did Xbox kill the market for PlayStation? No. Did any of these two markets kill the market? I mean, did any of these two competitors kill the market for Nintendo's products? No, it did not at all. Like, people are so dumb. This is just another facet of like what portable systems will be released going forward, thanks to the long history of Nintendo with their portable systems. It just so happens that Steam is entering the market now, and Steam is appealing to a certain audience anyway. They're not appealing to the same audience that exists in the market for Nintendo fans, particularly for the Switch. I'm interested, but I'm definitely not going to buy it. That's fair, man. Completely fair.
Keep on keeping on.
Are you interested, like, later in life, let's say, like, when you turn 18 and above and, like, partake in a job and all that? If the circumstances were then, would you be interested? Would you be interested in waiting to get it then, or like the upgraded version of the Steam Deck if an upgraded version comes out at that time? It sucks that like we can't borrow cars. I don't even have enough money for the most cheapest model. Yeah, I completely get where you're coming from in terms of like the current circumstances. I get where you're coming from. I was close to going this way instead of that way. I wish the only thing that I wish I had with my current setup, because I'm using an iMac, a 2015 iMac, the only thing that I wish I had was I keep hitting X. The only thing I wish I had was the ability to use OBS for streaming, because it's very difficult. It's very uncooperative with yeah, iOS, very, 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 very uncooperative, and I have to try one of these days to look into it again because apparently there's been like some supporting tool. I think it's OBS Studio that supports the OBS program on iMac. I'm interested in the thought of playing my PC games portably, but I'm not sure about that. Some games just feel better when you're sitting down in front of a big screen. Yeah, completely. What about it's gonna receive its own dock though, and the resolution will translate over to TV. I'm pretty sure Steam made a comment about that, or at least Gabe did. I forgot his last name, so. Normally I try to reference people I don't know personally by their last name, or their full name.
Sam, even the best porters have been known to lose their cargo. But you're better than the best. You've got what it takes to finish what they started. If you come across any abandoned shipments, consider taking them to their intended destination.
It's easier than you might think. See, all our packages are tagged with Bridges IDs for easy tracking. And your Odra deck is equipped with a scanner which might detect said IDs. Which is a roundabout way of saying that that thing on your shoulder can help you locate mislaid shipments.
I really don't like when I buy a product and then I have to buy more accessories for it. I completely get where you're coming from. 100%. I respect it. No. I don't think it's just a Brazilian culture thing because, for example, if we want to reference something, and I think this is it's a similar but different, situation that I'm going to reference, but for example, let's look at Final Fantasy VII Remake. It is a game that released for what, $60-$70 on the PS5. Was it the PS5 or PS4? I think it was the PS4 actually. So $60 for the remake, and if we can make the argument that future installations are an accessory to the video game, and we can argue that the future installations to the game are DLC. It should be DLC. And me personally, I get where they're coming from. I still think it sucks. Like, I get where Square is coming from in terms of what they're trying to do, because they're essentially treating a lot of every chapter or big chapter in Final Fantasy VII, as well as added content and added elaboration to prior content. I get where they're coming from, charging $60 per big chapter, but you know, like, I'm still like torn about it. I see where the frustration comes for a lot of Square fans, and especially like old school Final Fantasy VII fans. I get where their frustration is coming from, you know?
Remember, Sam, every parcel is a promise made to a person in need, and they're counting on you to deliver.
Okay. I'm just scouting the area. Can I collect these yet? I'm making sure to scout the area as much as possible, because I cannot trust my memory for the life of me. I can't trust my memory because, like, let me actually see what this is. Wait, I forgot some stuff. This is why I can't trust myself. At least not with remembering all these locations and items. Okay, cool. I should have probably scanned that just to see what the. Oh, it's not bad. Although the troublesome part of what I'm doing is that I'm constantly, or I seem to constantly be walking over and walking through these mediums of water. So I'm trying to cross the most shallow so that my how do I say this? My cargo doesn't get as damaged.
Good work, Sam.
Oh, this is so
I see you
helpful.
brought in some lost cargo. Feel free to submit it here for processing. If you come across any more while out on a run and don't think you can carry it to its destination, you can always put it in storage. It'll be safe and secure until another porter comes along to finish the job. Even if it has to pass through a dozen more hands before it arrives, you can rest easy knowing you did your part.
Delivery and trusting lost cargo. Select make delivery, deliver lost cargo at a delivery terminal to complete a lost cargo delivery. What the fuck? Lost cargo can also be entrusted to other players for delivery by selecting entrust cargo at any terminal other than the destination terminal. Cool. I don't know how often I actually made use of this particular tool. It's so helpful. Wait, no. That's I misunderstood. It's entrusting. Oh, you motherfuck! Oh my god, I actually don't know. So the reason why I kind of like walked back on my sentiment it being good because I don't know how. Because I usually get rewards, right, for providing all this lost cargo to my the destination myself. However, I don't know if providing the cargo to other players at these postal services warrant the same level of rewards that doing it myself does. So like next year I'm gonna be 15, which means I'm gonna be allowed to get a part-time job, and I really want to do it, but the minimum wage for a part-time job is almost nothing. I'm sorry, man. That's rough. That's rough. It sucks when minimum wage is... And this is something I...
Sam, remember that prolonged exposure to timefall damages cargo containers. Don't stay out in the rain any longer than you have to.
This... God. This is something I cared about more as I after my first job. I was like, man, it sucks when like the minimum wage is completely ass, like pure ass in the face of like other jobs, especially when
Sam, if you come up against a sheer cliff or a steep slope, don't forget about the ladder we issued you. Be sure to try it out. I'd be interested to see what uses a seasoned pro like you might find for it.
when Yeah, when the minimum wage just freaking blows in comparison to other jobs, especially when these particular minimum wage jobs are so engrossed in like physical labor, and it's just like, man. I mean, no money is better than no money. Yeah, that's a fair point to make. Completely. 100%, man. I might have to get these two on the way back. I cannot. Yeah, I have the weight limit to worry about. I can't trust myself to go up there, so I'm just gonna go down. Yeah, I'm just gonna go back down. If I can even find my way back. I'm not supposed to be doing this, by the way. I literally just walked down like the steepest slope with a bunch of rocks impeding the footwork, the footpath. So that was dumb of me, but I was just like, fuck, I don't feel like thinking about it. I think in 15 minutes I'm just gonna go heat up some queso diablo that I have, and I would like to get some tortilla chips. So that'll take like no more than 5 minutes, and I'm probably gonna station myself at one of the bases. I'm hungry. That was actually my breakfast. I still have so much queso, and I hate how I'm like Americanizing the terminology, because I know I'm supposed to be saying queso. But their queso diablo is so good, man. Oh, I'm talking about Qdoba. I don't know if they have that around at your place. What time is it for me? It is 4 p.m. Additionally, in addition to so redundant, in addition to um, getting some food for myself, a snack, because I had breakfast like 8 hours ago, I need to get some tea. Yeah, lemon honey tea. Oh, so I'm 1 hour ahead of you? Really? I'm pretty sure we've spoken about this, but I didn't realize that, like, I thought you were a couple of hours ahead of me at the time. Like a few hours ahead, actually. I thought, But then again, a lot of time has passed since the last time we spoke about this. Because I believe we may have had this conversation somewhere along the lines of like 2000, no. Somewhere along the lines of like 2019, maybe even late 2018. It depends on like when I heavily streamed Dragon Quest Builders 2. 5:19 p.m. Yeah. It sucks that I have to do this like time and time again because I simply don't have the proper tools to counter these enemies. It sucks because like this isn't my playstyle at all. Having to continuously sneak and run. The preference that and it was actually I definitely showed a little bit of this desire and tendency in my 2019 gameplay, where I do like engaging.
Survive, we need to find another way. A way to overcome the BTs. The Death Stranding, the whole damn mess.
Where that's one of the things I fucking hate about Hardman. Die Hardman. He doesn't know how to just shut up, man. Like, let me play the game. I forgot what I was saying. Anyway, when I get there to that station, I will,
Goddamn cottonmouth.
I will let him just rest over in the private room, and then I'm gonna get some food, lemon honey tea, cause my throat is killing me. I don't know if I brought this up already into like what modern problem that I'm dealing with in terms of my health, but after my second COVID shot, it's just a coincidence? No, it's not. That day, it just facilitated this cough that has not gone away. That was like middle of May that I got this COVID shot, and I still am suffering from this dumb fucking cough. It is so frustrating. Oh my god. Yeah, second COVID shot is either middle of May or middle of June. I'm pretty sure it was either one of the two. Still, quite a long time to be dealing with this garbage. And I'm positive. I am positive that like my mononucleosis from 2019 is exasperating a lot of the conditions or the effects of the second COVID shot. This cough, I've gotten my lungs checked, I've gotten my throat checked, and it's just like, it's so annoying. A lot of people who take these COVID shots get side effects. Yeah. There's not like a 100% efficacy rate, but it still protects against the original virus, which is why not have extra, why not be prepared, you know? It's better to be prepared as opposed to like getting fucked. I'm starting to get a little suspicious of it. The thing is, obviously it depends on which provider you're going through. However, what a lot of people don't understand about vaccines and all that is that there's no way for it to be 100% effective on a unilateral scale, because as humans, everybody's immune system will respond differently. I think a lot of people don't like that because everyone wants a homogeneous answer. They want a homogeneous solution, which it's unrealistic. I'm sorry, but it's unrealistic what people are expecting out of it, especially for the naysayers. I'm still waiting for them to allow my age group to take the vaccine. That's fair. In whatever decision you make, I wish you I hope that you feel the most fulfilled in whatever decision you make. Should you choose to get it or should you choose not to get it? Regardless of whatever decision you make, I hope it is the choice that best fulfills you. Because it's your choice and it is your body. You deserve the choice to make whatever decision that you see best fit for yourself. That being said, it's always best to do your own research. It's always best to make sure you know what you're getting yourself into. Like, what are the pros and cons? Like, what are the pros and cons of getting this? What are the pros and cons of not getting it? Definitely getting it? Yeah, I'm glad that you are. The reason why I'm playing such a neutral role in talking about it is because it's such a divisive topic, and I don't want to involve too many divisive topics in what I talk about in my content. It's not what I'm aiming for. I just want to have fun. And if I'm having fun, that's what matters to me in my gameplay, because if I'm having fun, I think anyone who tunes in to the content will detect that, and hopefully they'll have fun as I'm having fun, and that applies to you as well. In the time that you spend here, I hope that you're having fun just as much as I'm having fun being able to chat with you while I'm playing this game that I'm having fun with. My mom and dad got the vaccine and did fine, so it really might just be a coincidence. It is a coincidence, man. It just so happens that this particular side effect is exasperated by what I think by my mononucleosis, because mononucleosis is for life. Once you get it, it sticks with the person. It sticks with the person for life, and it is the underlying condition. It exasperates whatever sort of shenanigans, pathological shenanigans on a biological scale for the body, which stinks.
Delivering cargo.
It's just the hand that I got dealt, and I have to work with it. It is what it is.
Thank you. We've all been feeling the loss of Central Knot City. No one seemed to know what it meant for the organization, or the UCA, or us. But the oxytocin will take the edge off, and that'll be a big help. Won't be long before we're back on track. May have a luck. This is great. Thank you again. Yeah, everything looks to be in good order. And soon our way station will be too, I hope.
Awesome.
You're with the second team, right? Where are the others?
Dead. Caught in the void out.
No way. That one blast got them all? And what, they just sent you out on your own? I mean, if it was just a delivery, that'd be one thing. Porters come through from time to time, but... The second team was meant to bring the Cupid. They were gonna connect us up. 3 years we've been waiting for help. 3 years! And they sent us one guy. Shit. Tell me you brought more than the Oxy, at least.
I've got the Cupid.
You... Really? So it's true. They finally got it working? Well, then you just might be the answer to my prayers. So what are you waiting for? You put us on the goddamn grid.
Shut the fuck up, you impatient bastard. I know it's been 3 years, but goddamn, I just got thrown into the picture. You wish that Valve would make a new VR headset already? How long has it been since the last one?
Connection to capital, not city, confirmed. It's really happening. Just like Amelie promised. We can finally do what we came here to do. Hey, you're headed west, right? Gonna be a lot of people happy to see you. Guess you'll keep on till you hit the coast, huh? Which means you'll get to see Amelie in person. Oh, that's something. That is really something. Me, I've never met her. Only seen her holo messages back when I was with the first expedition. Well, anyway, you best be careful on the road. There's some bad people out there. More than good, some say. But I don't need to tell you that.
Thank you, Sam. By bringing that way station into the Chiral network, you've put it in direct contact with those of us back here in Capital Knot City.
Right. What's next?
West of the way station are a couple of structures our previous expedition put in place. And beyond them is your next destination, Fort Knot City. It's on the shore of a crater lake that formed after the first void out. Your objective is to link up Fort and Capital Knot. But to do that, you'll need to utilize our facilities as additional waypoints. They'll be essential for establishing a stable connection. Given the distance we need to cover, we're looking at using a distribution center and a power station, as to which you should head for first. Start with the distro center. We've got some cargo that needs delivering anyway. Check the nearby delivery terminal to pick it up.
Good work. New order available. Please access delivery terminal for further information.
Yeah, decisive. Honestly, a lot of people feel the same way as you do. Don't worry about it.
Your hard work's paying off. Thanks to the increase in network capacity, HQ is now in a position to provide you with additional materials and support. Should prove useful.
Okay, cool. So,
Sam, you can use that PCC to build a post box.
PCCs can be used to build structures, but be aware that doing so will use up some of the chiral bandwidth available to you. Structures can be shared with other players once built. New structures can be built within the area around an existing facility marked with sensor poles. Okay. Post boxes can be used to return lost cargo or entrust cargo for delivery by others. The share locker function can be used to exchange weapons and equipment with other players. The private locker function can be used to temporarily store personal cargo and equipment. This time around, I am most likely going to take advantage of this post box a lot. Mostly because, knowing me, I want to min-max a lot of the travel and like a lot of the items I'll be carrying with me. Chances are I will be trying to entrust a lot of the cargo that is to, how do we say this? Be given and trusted to other porters, other players. The reason being is that sometimes while I do want the reward of getting as much chiral matter, resins, as well as material, as much as I want that, I don't know how effective and efficient it will be on my end to carry this burden like this on my own many a times. Can I just deliver this? Jesus Christ. So, okay, here. This is what I'm talking about. Over here, when I make these deliveries for lost cargo myself, I get the material directly. I get rewarded for it. Like, this should be the case. Hold on. What? People think of you as a porter who can be relied on for basic orders, but with time and effort, you may one day be recognized as a true legend. You have reached miscellaneous grade 10. You will now receive more likes. Yeah, so look, right? Unless I'm an idiot, I'm positive we had less amount of resins and metals, right? Or am I dumb? Actually, I was looking at the zeros on top, the required zeros. Right? I don't remember. Shit, I wasn't paying attention. But either way, like, making the deliveries for these lost items will warrant materials. I am almost positive, if I recall correctly from my previous gameplay.
Sam, you can use share lock.
This has to be delivered to Capital Knot City. I don't know. So am I going back or am I going forward? I don't feel like making. Oh, sweet. I should be able to take this, right? What? Oh, okay, there we go. So cool. Take on orders. Okay.
To get a post box, you'll need to use a PCC. It goes...
I am sorry, but I think I'm gonna skip all of Die Hardman's dialogue, if I can, because this motherfucker talks way too much. I'm sorry. It is so disruptive to the gameplay, and I respect the actor, and I respect the voice actor if they're different. I respect both entities. However, I'm sorry, his dialogue is so disruptive. That's one thing I just really don't like about what Hideo Kojima did with that particular character. He talks way too much. I remember back in 2019 when I first played this game and undergoing the...
Sam, assume...
My god. That's what I mean. He talks way too much. What? What am I bringing? Deliver all 6 containers of rare metals. Oh, God. No, I canceled it. Oh my god. Yeah, so I think Die Hardman is a very, 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 very complex character. Like, he has a magnanimous and I believe to be a beautiful story to his character. I understand what his motivations were when everything connected. However, my gripe is that he is like the ongoing tutorial of this game, and he doesn't know how to... he just doesn't stop. He really just doesn't stop. And I wish that when Hideo Kojima directed and produced this game, I wish that he thought about how the players were going to perceive him. And I understand, like, the idea that not everything comes down to player dissatisfaction and player interpretation of whatever it may be regarding the experience that he's trying to craft, because at the end of the day, this is his baby, this is his passion project. I get that, like, he's doing whatever he wants, whatever he wills, because he wants to craft the product that best encapsulates the vision that he has on mind. I completely understand, you know. At the same time, Die Hardman really does feel like a never-ending tutorial, and I don't like that. I don't like having my hand held throughout the game. I just don't like it. Don't get me wrong, what Hideo Kojima does really well, and I mean really, 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 really well in this game, are visual reminders. Visual reminders to show if the player has forgotten something, it's okay. It is okay, because, hey man, I'm just, you know, if you forgot something, just here's a little hint, maybe, if it's okay. But when you have like an auditory source telling the player and almost treating them like a buffoon, that's where I'm just like, man, I don't really agree with your practice and method. And it's just an ideological, and it's more ideological. It's more of an ideological disagreement for directing something. But compared to everything else that's good that this game has facilitated and accomplished and achieved, like, goddamn, what I'm complaining about is like nothing. It's just, it's a small aspect of the game that I love. It is a small aspect of a game that I love, absolutely love, and that's why I'm criticizing the utility of Die Hardman as an ongoing tutorial.
Sam, proceed, activate your PCC. Use it to build a post box within the area I specified.
That being said, a counter that I have towards my gripes regarding Die Hardman is that it's good that he is, to a certain extent, passing a threshold of activity when it comes down to interacting with the protagonist. Why? Because it shows that this character actually has life to him, and he is being treated as a person. It just stinks that he is being almost used as, again, a tutorial, ongoing tutorial. It is what it is, you know? Like, this is a beautiful game. I love this game, and I will defend this game to the end of time. But I am allowed to criticize the game that I love. I gotta agree with you. Thank you. Yeah. It is what it is, you know, man? Like,
Good work, Sam. That's a fine-looking post box. If you access it and select Share Locker, you can share cargo and equipment with your fellow porters. Deposit a ladder and a climbing anchor, and I'm sure someone will eventually come along who could use it. If you've got enough supplies, why not leave some behind? Do right by others, they'll do right by you.
so over here, two things. No, just one thing. I enjoy when Hideo Kojima, or anyone, but in this particular Hideo Kojima, when he's able to drive home the theme that he's going for in this game, where, you know, everything in this journey is about reconnecting. And it is important. It is important that he is doing what he's doing, because, like, it makes the game that much more impactful with its story, and the story is beautiful. True and tried, I believe that the game is one of the most beautiful stories that I have immersed myself in, and this game is just a theatrical experience, both from a perspective of gameplay and a perspective of production. Like, it is. I don't know. It's just, I have so many good things to say about this game, and to me, it's like a director's wet dream. It really is. Like, from a storytelling perspective, from the perspective of a lot of visual storytelling, a lot of just, there's so much going on, and I applaud Hideo Kojima with this passion project. Like, one day, I don't have the connections. I don't know if I ever will. But film has been something I really cared about when I was younger. I thought that taking a film and literature class back in college was the origin of why I have a fundamental love for film analysis, series analysis, and whatever it may be, just anything analytical regarding media. What's it called? I don't think I can actually cross that. So I'm just gonna go the... I think I'm just gonna commit to this side. The reason why is because this open area, one, there's timefall, and two, because there's timefall, there's gonna be a lot of BTs in this area. I remember. And like, look, it's an open field. It's just asking to be destroyed and barraged with beach things, enemies. So and look over here, another open field. But that's my target. Okay, yeah. So just I need to go over here, and let me just drop off some stuff just in case.
Remember, sometimes all you need to cross a river is a ladder. If you don't have one on you, consider fabricating another.
Nice. Why can't I get on? There we go. I don't understand why I like watching people talking about things, but then doing the thing itself is not as entertaining than watching someone review a movie. I get where you're coming from, because sometimes one may feel as though they may... Okay, I have a perfect example. Twitch. Watching someone play a video game that you are not interested in playing may sometimes be more entertaining as a theatrical experience compared to playing the game itself. For example, I'm not going to watch... One of the people that I really enjoy watching is Barbarous King. He is infamously known for Super Mario Maker 2, although he has detached himself from that content, which I heavily appreciate. I would never... He partakes in the gameplay of Super Mario World and ROM hacks. I would never, ever partake in that, but I do enjoy watching it, honestly. But in your case, like reviewing a movie, sometimes a person may not enjoy being as analytical as someone may be when reviewing a movie, but you can enjoy the thoughts and insight that a person may provide when they review a movie. So it's just a matter of context. It's just a matter of, like, you know, whatever sort of experiences that you enjoy through the vector of other people. There's a word for this. Not precociously, vicariously? I think it's vicarious. Let me just deliver this, and then let me search up the word. What? I thought I had to make a delivery. The fuck? I think it's vicarious. Let me reference the word, because this is gonna bother me. I don't use that word enough to really remember what it means. I'm almost positive it's vicarious. Yeah. So vicarious, the definition that I'm referencing is felt or enjoyed through imagined participation in the experience of others. So I personally, just to use myself an example to elaborate on what you're talking about, Decisive, I like to live vicariously through other people's experiences, such as, again, just a personal example.
Somebody could fill in for me for a day.
A personal example being that I like to live vicariously through Barbarous King playing Super Mario World. Or even at the moment, like Mario, sorry. I keep on making that, like, old mistake of mine. Mario Golf Super Rush. I wouldn't get the game myself because I am not promised the luxury and gameplay experience of multiplayer, which I am seeking out of Mario Golf Rush. stuff like that. And, you know, living vicariously through other people is okay. It is completely okay. One, guess what? It is one of the most digestible ways of learning. It is one of the best ways to learn because you don't have to waste time yourself doing something that you are not necessarily interested in doing yourself, and you don't have to waste effort, you don't have to waste energy, you don't have to waste time. It is one of the most efficient ways of doing things. I don't think people understand like how efficient it is to live vicariously through other people. And classic example, a mainstream example, are movies. Like, dude, like, let's look at, oh my god, let's look at the first Avengers. No, let's go back to Iron Man. Iron Man 1. People are not going to be able to understand what it's like to be Iron Man because there's nothing in life in 2008 that would have warranted or facilitated the experience, personal experience at that, of understanding where Iron Man is coming from. A perspective of a genius billionaire philanthropist who is too cocky for his own good, who happens to be able, oh my god, there are porters, who happens to be able to, how do I say this? Who happens to be able to actually, I lost my point. But okay, to bring it back, the point that I'm trying to make is that these people,
Your cargo's been pinged. Move
I might have to fight.
now before someone has eyes on you. Get to your destination ASAP.
I'm gonna engage in this combat. I have to. I'm going to take some time to focus on this because this is hard difficulty. I don't know how deadly their attacks are. I can't run. I literally cannot run. I have so much package on me. Oh, what the f-
News gave you trouble, huh? Good thing it was raining. Even they know better than to mess with BTs.
Oh, I got lucky. So, one of the things that... Oh, I got followed. Thank you, IPK98 for the follow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Decisive, for example, like, you're living vicariously through me by watching me play this game and still being able to enjoy the experience, well, hopefully enjoy the experience of what this game has to offer, of what I am praising. So, stuff like that, you know? And additionally, like I said, as I mentioned before, it is an effective and efficient way of learning. It is so good, man. It is so, I really can't, like, praise the utility of being able to learn through others and be able to experience things through others. Through this method, or through various methods, whatever they may be. Sorry, I needed to check something. What I love about this game is that unlike, well, it's incomparable, but because I love two different styles of games, Hades, which I don't know if you've seen me play Decisive, and I love this game. Two very fundamentally different games in terms of their gameplay, in terms of their everything. Just very, very, very different. And what point was I trying to make with this? I actually don't remember. Oh, no. The point I was trying to make was that I don't get tired of playing this game ever. To me, this is like low effort. This is a game I could just chill, like with the homies, and just chat. Like, it is so good. To me, playing Death Stranding is literally a glorified just chatting stream. I have never played or seen anyone play Hades. At some point this coming week, I'm going to be playing Hades. Just cause, like, knowing me, I always come back to that game. Always, always, always. Even with my love for Death Stranding and wanting to play this game, like, a lot. And I just think that I, again, forgot what I was saying. I'm, like, trying to look back and forth. But whatever. The point I'm trying to make is that this game is like a glorified medium of just chatting for me. And I get to show why I love this game. I get to reveal its, like, shenanigans as well as whatever. You know, I saw the trailer, and you saw the trailer and thought it wasn't your play style, rather your style. You like how you absolutely hate RPGs, but your favorite game ever is Omori. Yeah. I mean, like, generally speaking, just generally, if, like, you know, I'll even use an example myself. I do not like RPGs / JRPGs anymore. It's not because I don't like them holistically speaking. I don't like them anymore because I don't have the time to engage them anymore. They take so much time, man. I didn't finish my Dragon Quest Builders... No, my Dragon Quest 11S run. Or I didn't finish the story because I got stuck at a point where I clearly it's asking me to grind it out, like grind for levels and also be more strategic with who I'm putting in, what techniques I'm using. I'm like, bro, like, I don't have the time for this anymore, like, at all. I just don't have the time to invest where I am too, God, how do I say this? Where a game is asking me, where the fuck are you? Where a... No wonder. Holy shit, I can't see anything. I don't know if it's because of the difficulty setting I'm on, but damn, it's so hard to, like, detect these things ahead of time. Yikes, 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 yikes! No, I'm gonna get dragged. Oh my god. This is bad, this is bad, this is actually really bad. I need to load, I need to load. Turn brightness up, my favorite way to cheat in horror games. I don't want to cheat. I don't want to. I need to experience the game as it is intended. I feel the need to do so. It's more difficult and I have to be more perceptive on what my surroundings are. The reason why I had to load the file is because if I don't, then I have to deal with the fact that I literally have no weapons on me and I can't fight. I have to run. And I can't run from a fight like that. Not with the way that I am. I have nothing to counter. I have nothing to counter the enemy with. God, that makes me sad. So I have to chart out a better path. Like, I respect your tactic. I respect it. I just don't feel as though it is okay for me to employ it because I seek challenge and I seek the sort of pain and suffering that this game has to offer simply because I like being able to see if I am worthy to fulfill the challenge that is being requested at that particular time and place, if that makes sense. Like here, I'm able to take a different path and not be an idiot, go the same way that I did, because clearly that path is far more dangerous, which I predicted. And I keep forgetting I'm on a higher difficulty. So it's like I want to be allowed the chance to make my mistakes, and then I want to be allowed the chance to learn from these mistakes. I have no weaponry, so I must adjust my approach. Stuff like that. And I love being able to constantly experiment and have the beautiful ability and practice to just display what critical thinking skills I have. Because to me, critical thinking skills are necessary for critical growth. And without... What kind of fucking... You shitbag, why did you place a fucking terrible... Oh. Why did I like it?
Thanks for the help.
This is worthy of liking. Jesus Christ. So, you know, critical thinking is necessary for critical growth. And that's what I'm trying to do as a person. I'm trying to not only critically grow, but critically think, because I enjoy the process. I don't enjoy just the end result. If the resultant of this critical thinking is critical growth, I want to be able to enjoy the fruits of my labor that would lead to such a resultant, such a product. And it is fundamentally important to me because I need to have fun. I need to have fun with the process, and to me, the constantly chiseling away at the ability for me to facilitate critical thinking is fun. It is just fun. I desire the limitless. I desire the limitless
Heads up, Sam. Your cargo's been pinged.
chance, opportunity
Now, before
to
someone
grow
has
as a person.
Get to your
And
destination
critically
ASAP.
thinking,
You don't wanna get
as
caught.
well as spinning the wheels of critical thinking, allow me to reach such a
Sam,
limitless
don't get too
opportunity.
close to mule territory unless you have to. Focus on the deliveries for now.
So no matter what, this is an event that happens regardless of whatever path we take. Okay.
Mules gave you trouble, huh? Good thing it was raining. Even they know better than to mess with ATs.
Yeah, I hope that makes sense. And for me, like, when it comes down to streaming, one of the reasons why I like streaming, not only because I like communicating with other people as I play games, it's also because it gives me a chance to verbally walk myself through many different thresholds of logic and rationale, and it gives me a chance to confirm to myself if what I'm saying is logical or not. Okay, yeah, I saw it. It's, it is, that is, rough. Very questionable. Very, 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 very questionable. Let's say it's, let's say it's true. Let's say that everything that it has been told has 100% validity and 100% factual prowess. Let's say that, right? One, apparently, his partner is not exactly capable of understanding what exactly has transpired, and he is taking advantage of that, and that is a very, very questionable thing. That kid had potential when he was younger. I don't know the past of this person. Mostly because whenever I saw them and their name, he was mostly getting memed upon. Like, a lot of people were just making jokes. And, like, I'm not interested in, like, looking into this person. I just don't care. And truth of the matter is, like, why... Here's the thing. In my current life, in my current state of time, place, and cognitive amalgamation of who I am, I do my best to avoid fields of topics and or quote unquote energy. When I say energy, I'm talking about like just bad vibes. No, not even vibes. When I talk about energy, I'm just talking about vibes. When something is giving me bad vibes, I'm like, man, I'm throwing up my deuces. I'm getting the fuck out. I actually had that problem recently. One of my friends, very, very beautiful person. He's a great guy. He's my fucking best friend. One of his very close friends, we ran into a collision course, and I told this person many a times, look, the day we meet, it's going to be a collision of different energies, different wavelengths, and different vibes. And I told him that in the sort of way that, and I told him exactly that. There's nothing bad, there's nothing good about that particular statement. It's neutral. But for me, I was saying it with an underlying motive by kind of stating that, like, dude, you have to understand that you and I vibe way too differently. There is a gargantuan difference between us on an ideological, philosophical, and behavioral scale. And to him, he thought I was just saying, like, oh yeah, I'm just an introverted person, like you're extroverted, and you know, like you're, what the fuck? And that he is just a ball of energy while I am not. And that was not what I was saying. I had the underlying implication that we are going to fucking argue. Like, as people, we're going to fucking argue. Because he does not like being challenged on anything. On any particular subject, topic, or whatever it may be. And so, it has come time and time again where he and I have found ourselves at a crossroads of topics. Topics that he has been immersed in, not well versed in, immersed in, for eons. And I'm like, bro, how can you carry yourself like this? And you're what, 3 years older than I am? Maybe 4, I don't know, I don't care. 3 years older than I am, and you carry yourself like a fucking child. Like, how do you not understand that challenge is one of the biggest propagators of growth? How do you not understand that challenge is one of the best ways to understand if you yourself as a person are worthy of continuing in the vector, the path, the lifestyle that you facilitate and practice on an everyday basis? How does this person not understand that? And the context is, I'll even go into further depth. We were talking about like training, physical training such as weight training and general fitness, as well as I don't think it was nutrition actually. But we were talking about like the gym and like training and particularly the bench press. And I was arguing that how people traditionally bench
Something wrong, Sam?
I don't know. Kid doesn't look so hot.
Nothing to worry about. Its functions are temporarily suspended, but they can be restored. I can perform the necessary maintenance at a distribution center. Hurry, though.
I was arguing that the way that people traditionally bench from a bodybuilding perspective is inferior. It is inferior to the proposed method that I have tested time and time again religiously.
When the strain on your BB exceeds sustainable levels, it triggers the production of harmful compounds, and the body, in essence, begins to attack itself. It's called autotoxemia. If your BB's not performing to spec, drop by your private room and see if the incubator helps.
If the methodology that I utilize for bench press is what people would consider to be a powerlifting bench press, where people will arch their back and utilize a lot of leg drive, quote unquote, a lot. But really, the leg drive, it's not. People have to understand that the bench should be a full body movement. People don't understand that a lot of the power generated helps. Rather, a lot of the power generated from their legs going into the bench press helps a tremendous amount. Why would a person not want to take up the opportunity to utilize as much weight as possible to rip apart their muscle fibers in such a way that would allow for the greatest growth from repetition to the next? Why are you going to waste time on an inferior technique that requires you to do more of it? Why? Why not utilize a method that, qualitatively speaking, from a qualitative perspective, is far superior compared to a previous methodology? Why? Why? And he got angry. He was like, you know, this is what I think is the best. I'm like, dude, I don't give a fuck what you think is the best. I'm talking about what is inferior and what is superior. I don't care. Like, holy fuck. And then he had the audacity, he had the nerve to threaten me by saying, like, dude, something along the lines of, like, dude, like, Mike, like, holy shit, I don't, how do I say this? I don't, fuck, I can't remember what he said. Basically he was threatening the friendship. I'm like, bro, you fucking cucklord. How, you're so dumb. Oh my god. I cannot believe I wasted so much fucking time on this person. Like, dude, come the fuck on. I accidentally, like, use their shit. I used their name.
I need a drink.
Oh well. Fuck. I didn't make it in time to mute that. I gotta go, my dude. Thank you for spending time here, man. I appreciate you. Good luck with school this week, and I hope you have a good week back. Keep me updated. I hope I see you again. But yeah, like, it is what it is. So, the point that I was trying to make with that whole story...
Told me all about you. Sam Bridges, with the second expedition, right? The guy expanding the chiral network on his lonesome, when he's not out making deliveries. So what'd you bring us? Let's see it. Talk about above and beyond. Thanks. Must have had to pass through BT territory to get here too, didn't you? They weren't joking when they said you were a legend. Okay, it's time. materials you brought for our chiral printer. We can produce supplies for you here as needed. Think of it as our...
Good. The distro center is on the network.
Sam, do me a favor. Take your BB to a private room and connect it to the incubator.
Good work.
I may have been, like, actually talking while I was muted. Fuck. So, what I was talking about and what I was saying, the point that I'm trying to make with that story earlier when I was referencing that person and like the associating circle is that, and this is I want to finish up this point because I'm gonna actually end this stream and I'm gonna go eat because I'm hungry, and then I'll probably fire up the stream after. I don't want to have that long break because when I do these streams, I export the VODs onto my YouTube channel, and having that, and I don't edit any of these because I want to make this as efficient as possible, where I could just upload whatever onto my YouTube channel, and the VODs and like whatever I choose to highlight, the best portions that I highlight is exported onto YouTube in the most seamless way possible. So anything that I don't have to have like a long duration, even let's like a 5-minute break, I'm like, yeah, I'd rather end stream, handle what I have to do for like an hour, 2 hours, and then come back to it. That's my approach nowadays. Finishing up my story, and the point I was trying to make is that like, why must I have to waste time on someone who is completely just counterproductive to my mission in life, to be a better person? That is my mission in life, to be a better person. And I cannot stand the idea of when a person decides that they're going to impede upon my mission in life. I refuse to impede upon my freedom to try and fight so that I can fulfill this objective that keeps me going. That's a no for me, dog. Like, definitely not. I can't be bothered. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Like I said, I don't have the room in my life or in my heart, and I don't have the time to deal with such bullshit, especially when I don't have enough energy.
Continued support.
Also, it's recycles, not deliveries. Okay. There's so much that I've forgotten about this game. But, that being said...
Dead man, you there? Little help?
Okay, Sam. Remove the pod and connect it to that incubator.
It's in.
Good. A temporary excessive stress. Easily addressed if we return it to its mother's womb.
Mother?
Located in the capital Knot City ICU. Brain dead, of course.
You mean still mother?
Correct. A still mother's womb facilitates a connection between the world of the dead and the BB. And you, in turn, connect yourself to a BB, granting you the ability to sense BTs. These pods were designed to simulate the conditions inside a still mother's womb. BBs need to believe they're in one at all times to function properly. However, we can only maintain this deception for so long, which is why we must periodically update the environmental data by synchronizing it with a still mother via the chiral network. There. The update is in progress. Right now, the pod is synchronizing with the Steel Mother in Capital Knot City and reconfiguring its settings based on the latest data. Returning your BB to the womb in this manner will temporarily reduce its stress levels. That being where it technically belongs, of course.
Kid looks happy.
I'll try adjusting the oxytocin dosage. Autotoxemia should set in much slower from now on. You should remember that BBs are just equipment. Try not to get attached. Each one has been physically removed from its steel mother's womb. A process that renders them unpredictable and prone to failure. No BB on record has remained in service for over a year. It may need to be retired before this expedition is over.
And then? You saying there's no way to keep my BB alive?
You must understand, there is still a great deal we don't know about BBs. As we expand the chiral network and recover more past data, perhaps we'll find our answers. Oh, right. You asked me to look into why the BTs might be reacting to your blood. I spoke with Hartman. We should have your results soon. Anyway, get some rest. You and your BB are both exhausted. Good night, Sam.
London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady. Sam? Can you see me?
How are things over there?
Still not under guard, still not chained up, still can't leave. But if you can keep making connections, if you can get to me, we can go back east, back home. Thank you. I mean that. It's bad. There are fewer and fewer people in the cities these days. No one's having children anymore. But humans aren't made for living alone. They're supposed to come together, to help one another. And if we as a people can't do that, if we can't reconnect, then, well, it's like Bridget said, extinction.
Come on. Rebuilding America isn't gonna get rid of the BTs. As long as they're still around, there's no escaping it.
But at least we'll have hope. I'll be waiting, Sam. Waiting for you. come and find me.
Hello, Sam. This is Hartman. Since you're awake, it might behoove you to freshen up. To that end, why not take a shower? It's good for the body and soul, and also my research as it happens.
So one last thing that I want to like talk about is something that's important to me. One of the difficult parts about encountering any force in life, particularly any person that is very like passionate. One of the scariest parts about encountering passionate people is not falling for whatever passion that they're speaking from when they have malicious intent underneath. It is scary when malicious intent is hidden so well. I had an argument with someone, I think last year, and this is going to give me a chance to like publicly reflect, because this person and I are not friends anymore, and in fact I think this person is questionable. So one of the things that kind of drove a wedge between myself and him was that this person thought that I was trying to create like some sort of political echo chamber inside of my own server, my Discord server that I run for friends. And he thought that I was excluding him, targeting him. And he thought he was the only one that I excluded from the server, the categories in the server of which I was renovating, because I... Hold on, I get a cough. He thought that I was maliciously targeting him because of a fundamentally different stance that we both had in the political beliefs that we had at the time. And this was alluded to in prior conversation between me, him, and his girlfriend. He apologized at the time following that incident, and I forgot what he apologized for, but he apologized for how heated things got, I think, if I recall correctly. And he apologized for the way that he conducted himself. And so, you know, fine, cool. You apologized. It seems like you were able to reflect on what your actions were. Fine. Additional context. He has had conversations with me where it is dangerous to try and speak and read the intent of other people, because you don't know if interpreting their intent is accurate. You don't know. And so that's fair. I was like, fair. And so that is the necessary context to provide in the following. He thought that I was maliciously targeting him and trying to isolate him away from the Discord category where I specified politics and whatever else, world news. And he thought that because of that argument that we had regarding our differences in political beliefs and whatever it may be, he thought that I was just targeting him. I'm like, bro, are you fucking stupid? I have a few other people that I took out of the categories as well, and I have specific people that I trust. Judgment whose I trust in order to help me fix this mess, the amalgamations of mess that this category was undergoing. And so he didn't believe me, and he was like, show me the Discord audit log, show me that, show me proof that I am wrong. I'm like, are you stupid? I didn't even have I haven't have given any of my friends who I've known longer than this person and that I trusted way more than this person mod or administrative access, which includes access to the Discord audit log, right? And so that's what I said. I was like, dude, I haven't even given my friends access to this, of which you are demanding. Do you think yourself so superior, so fucking superior to the point where you deserve more than my friends who I've known longer than you? And they don't complain. They don't give a fuck. Like, do you think so fucking highly of yourself that you think that you deserve more than my friends? Like, what's wrong with you, dog? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And he is a fucking hypocrite because he decided to read intent and he decided to invoke and impose his interpretation of my intent onto me, and he decided to argue with me about it despite being so fucking wrong. He is such a fucking idiot, and I'm so glad I am not friends with him. He is such a fucking idiot. Jesus Christ. I despise when people are so unaware of themselves and their fucking stupidity and their hypocrisy. It is fucking just a tarnishing garbage. It is awful. God damn, dude. And he fucking had the fucking nerve to talk to my friend, one of my homies, behind my back. Like, bro, are you stupid? Like, you really think that my friend wasn't gonna tell me, like, what the fuck you did when the time came? Like, Jesus, man.
Hell, maybe it'll help you rest easier. We received a number of messages addressed to you. I've not taken a look myself, but I gather they're mostly from your clients. You should see if they contain any useful information. Mail can be accessed via your cufflinks, as well as the terminal in your private room. There's something else I'd like to share with you. With the Cairo network, we now have the power to reclaim our past. Data once thought lost forever from every corner of America can be pieced back together from fragmented records. Our archives are still a work in progress, of course. But as we expand the network and integrate more way stations and cities, we'll be able to recover more and more information, such as the previous expedition's logs and reports. Everything they sent back was lost when Central Knot City was destroyed. Now, we've managed to restore some already, in fact. You can access them from a private room terminal or your cufflinks by selecting Archives. Might make for interesting reading.
And so to close this chapter of my little rant, I'm bitching about it because I fucking trusted this person and they fucking betrayed me. They betrayed me on the premise of their fucking paranoia. And I'm like, dude, how fucking childish do you have to be, or you have to be a slave to your paranoia, a slave to your stupidity, a slave to your fucking childish demands, a slave to your desire to have everything revolve around you? How fucking dare you, you fucking incompetent piece of shit. Is your degree the only thing that you're smart enough to get, to achieve? And you're not smart enough to conduct yourself as a fucking decent person? Like, why? What the fuck is wrong with you, man? Like, holy fuck. I spent so long grieving because I thought that I lost a fucking significant close friend of mine at the time. There is very few people that I meet later in life where I can say, wow, this person is a good person and I think they have a capability of being a good friend, and then becoming good friends with them only to find out, like, what the fuck, you're a dipshit, you're a terrible person, you're a fucking child. Like, goddamn, what's wrong with you? You made me question everything from the origin of which the friendship started. What's wrong with you? Like, do you have no self-awareness to the point where, like, you see absolutely nothing wrong in your action? You decide to fucking... When I send that message you decide to fucking kick me out of your your business effort server. And so I was like, bro, why the fuck am I gonna keep you in my server if you're just gonna kick me out? So I'm like, eye for an eye, get the fuck out. And so once that happened, he kicked me out of his personal server. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're gonna keep up these shenanigans? And so once again, eye for an eye, I kicked him out of my friend's server. Like, bro, how fucking inept do you have to be to not understand how fucking dumb that bullshit was? Like, goddamn, I'm so angry about it because none of his support, none of his network is going to fucking contend against him because he is a fucking idiot. Oh my god, I can't believe it. For someone so smart, he's such a fucking idiot when it comes down to people. So when it comes down to friends, he's a, oh my god, I can't believe it. I can't believe I wasted my time on this person. I can't believe it. Holy shit. Wow, I cannot believe it. It is so sad.
Sam, we've received a distress call from the distro center staff. Check the order on the delivery terminal as soon as you're ready.
So, it is what it is. That's just one of my life rants. And it just is what it is, man. There's only so much one can do about the actions of others and the stupidity of their ability to be a slave to their paranoia, which will dictate their actions that follows. I'm like, it is what it is, man. If I'm getting bad vibes from people, I just fucking get the fuck out because I don't have the time, I don't have the energy, and I just don't have the room in my life or the room in my heart to give a flying fuck. That's fine. So it's just generally saying that, like, porters are needed, and unfortunately I'm to fulfill the role that they're asking to be fulfilled. Okay, cool. So I like these pieces of lore, and I will end it off with reading all three of these. Mules and Drone Syndrome. Die Hardman, 2 years ago. Bridges HQ. Bridges' primary objective is to rebuild America, and in order to rebuild, one of our main tasks is to reconnect cities and other settlements by re-establishing a delivery network. Back before the Death Stranding, the comms and delivery networks were what held society together. The whole thing was automated, AI managed, deliveries carried out by drone. The belief was that taking out people out of the equation would revolutionize the entire system. But things didn't quite pan out that way. Instead, we started seeing cases of what would eventually be dubbed drone syndrome, and was too much for some people to accept, leaving everything to machines and nothing for the common man. And indeed, the oxytocin deficiency and hormonal imbalances we confirmed seemed to back up the assessment. Humanity needed to be part of the process, so laws were put in place, and we stepped back into that picture again. I need a cough. Okay. So, where was I? And then what happened? All the people put out of work by machines who got called up again, convinced themselves society wouldn't survive without them, and brought in a whole new disorder, delivery dependent syndrome, and they called it. When the Death Stranding tore us apart, the delivery problem spiraled even further. It hasn't helped any by the fact that chiral clouds prevented planes and drones from flying, which meant we had to go back to relying completely on human couriers, whether we liked it or not. Eventually, delivering goods became all some lived for. They were obsessed, addicted, consumed by the desire to deliver. Over time, they turn into the mules we know and love today. Bridge babies. Look, I'm kind of new here at Bridges, so I don't know if any of this will be useful to you. Still, I'm happy to talk about BBs if that's what you want. They call me Dead Man. On account of my familiarity with the dead, get it? We've always been on good terms, you see. Used to have a regular little chats back when I worked in the morgue. Anyways, that's also the reason why I work on BB maintenance and research to learn more about those who are no longer with us. But I digress. Fact is, BBs were already being issued to our forces in the field before I joined Bridges. What's more, research into the little guys had already been conducted long ago. No one took the plunge and put what they discovered to practical use. Still, what that did mean is that when Bridges wanted to build our own BBs, most of the work has already been done for us. We just needed to follow the instruction manual, so to speak, which isn't to say that we have any idea how they work, not how they can detect BTs or how they can connect this world to the other side. We still have much to learn about our little friends, but one thing is certain: their continued study will lead us to a greater understanding of the Stranding and of life and death itself. That much I can assure you. Well, I think that's all I have to tell you today. Hopefully I'll have something new to share next time we chew the fat. See you around, I guess. Timefall Hartman, 3 years ago. Timefall was first recorded when the Death Stranding occurred, and despite all the years that have passed since then, we are no closer to understanding how or why it accelerates the passage of time for the objects and organisms it touches, or why it immediately turns to ordinary water having done so. Some researchers have gone as far as to posit this process is stealing time. As for why timefall is observed only in certain places, all that we know for certain is that it is somehow affected by local chiral concentrations. This is merely a hunch, but something in me suspects that the Death Stranding may have warped our perception of the passage of time. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing, you understand? We humans can conceive of our own deaths and even of the possibility of a place beyond death, yes? We have the capacity to conceptualize the future, an evolutionary advantage which aided our development as a species. Well, what if Timefall has given us a new supercharged version of the essential ability, one that will take us to the next stage of our evolution? Perhaps we wouldn't need to hole ourselves in the knot cities. Perhaps in time, the Death Stranding will come to seem as a phenomenon that has saved our species. Exciting thoughts, I'm sure you'll agree. I, for one, can't wait to set out on our journey. Who knows what awaits us? Awesome. The lore in this game is so fucking good. I love it. And I'm most likely going to be reading every single report as I go along. And with that being said, I do have to get going. I have to eat. I am hungry. And I do want to rest up if I decide to stream again today. So, that's about it. I will be back next time. Cheers.